Hello, hello. How are you, friends? Thank you for being here with me in our happy hour. Cheers. I bring you a guest. Quite very interesting her story. Even when I was reading it, somehow I came out with this crazy idea, if you want, that her and I have something in common. You can see that I always wear hats, right? So somehow I relate my hats because I have many, of course, not just this one, with her story. If you pay attention to the interview, you are going to know why is that I relate that her life with wearing many hats in her life. Please help me to bring our guest is Reverend Kathy Mastroianni.
Hi.
Welcome, welcome. Thank
Hola,
you for being
Woody.
here in our happy hour. Cheers.
Thank you so much. Cheers. Yes, definitely.
And it's water, by the way.
Yes, mine is too.
All right.
Agua.
Agua. Yes, yes, yes. I know that you speak some Spanish, but we say that until next year, probably we will start with the interview in Spanish as well for you, right?
Oh, thank you. I appreciate the year.
Or maybe I can learn some Italian.
Oh, that would be fun. We
More fun. Why don't we start for the first question that I always ask my guests? Please tell us who is the Reverend Kathy Mastroianni.
Oh, thank you, Woody. I love that question, and I'm so grateful to be here because, as you said, I have worn many hats in my life. That's a beautiful analogy. And I think to summarize it, I consider myself a minister of peace, to really
Wonderful.
reveal peace on the planet, peace in each other's heart. And I love the science of mind teaching because I feel that Dr. Ernest Holmes was all about peace, you
That's
know, and,
wonderful.
um, and a minister of light. And I think everyone who is coming to the convention this year are light workers. We are all light workers to reveal more and more light in our own lives in the world. So I'm very excited to be here.
Wonderful. I love to hear that. All the guests, as you've been see, you were telling me that you are been following all these interviews in the happy hour, and you notice, right, that all the guests right away are so excited to be part of the convention. Um, we will talk about that more further in the interview. Why don't we start for you, please? Tell us more about all these many hats that you are been wearing through your life.
Well, that's a good question. I think many of us have had kind of maybe a rough childhood. And I think when things happen in our lives, it just touches our heart so we can be a loving, peaceful presence on the planet. And so I did. I worked in foster care in North Central Detroit. I've been basically a social worker for 30 years. And I've
Wow.
worked in a family resource center as a family advocate. And then I was gifted with being executive director of a domestic violence shelter, a rural one in the
Wow.
mountains of Colorado, where people could bring their
Whoa.
pets because we think pets are really important.
Yes.
Yeah. So it was a place, and we even changed the name from a crisis center to a peace shelter. And
There
so
we go. Mhm.
peace has been
Yes.
everywhere. And then I found Science of Mind about 16 years ago now. And
Whoa.
I've been and just fell in love, absolutely fell in love with Ernest Holmes and this teaching, became a practitioner, became a minister. And so that's, a hat is being a minister and executive director of the Science of Mind archives. It's but to be it's I'm a minister in the archives, to really
Wonderful.
teach this and share all the beautiful wisdom of Dr. Ernest Holmes with the world.
Yes, that's the mission. And what can you tell us about Reiki and then something about bakery as
Oh,
well?
you're good. You're really good. Oh my God, you're a researcher.
Other
You
hats,
could
and many
you could
more. No?
volunteer at the archives with your research ability, my friend. You're that
That would
good.
be great.
Yes, I've done Reiki too, and I just think energy work is all spirit. It's just working with spirit, and and my bakery. To me, baking is like a meditation practice.
Very good.
It's
Yes,
like when
yes.
I have something I need to figure out, to go into the kitchen and to bake something really just
Right.
brings calmness and peace, and
Yes.
then I get something chocolate after it. So that's
Focus.
the bonus. Yes, yes.
Wonderful. So you mentioned about the archives of science and mind. Why don't you tell us? I know there's like a library foundation. I know you are the executive director. Please tell us more about that. We want to hear it as much as possible today. Although we will put your website, some people can go there, but you are going to mention more about what they will find once they go to the website.
Oh, thank you. Yes, the Science of Mind Archives was started and founded by Reverend Dr. Marilyn Leo, who was a neighbor of Ernest Holmes. When she
Oh,
was just a
wow.
little girl, she
Ah.
was a neighbor of Ernest Holmes. Her and her sister Dorothy, her mom was Elsie Armour and married Reginald Armour, who was Ernest Holmes'
Mhm.
right-hand guy. I mean, who just helped Ernest throughout the evolution of the movement. And so as a little girl, she got to kind of be the window and watch the evolution of our movement. And so when someone decided they needed to start an archive, they actually invited her to help start it. And so
Mhm.
in 1998, she went to archiving training and she learned how to archive. And then they actually created a nonprofit organization in 2007. So this is our
Mhm.
15-year anniversary of being a nonprofit. And this is I just had my 8-year anniversary of being executive
Yes,
director.
yes, yes. Uh-huh.
And
I
oh, go ahead.
no, I was about to mention that I saw that on Facebook, and then I sent you a some personal message there,
Thank you. Yes.
congratulating you and thanking you for everything that you are doing to preserve all this wisdom of our founder, Dr. Ernest Holmes.
No, yeah. It's quite a blessing. When I first started, I said I was a kid in a spiritual candy store. I mean, it was just like candy everywhere. It's like the wisdom,
Yes,
hidden
we
wisdom. It's
wanted
a
to get
treasure hunt.
everything right.
It's like
Yes,
having a
yes, yes,
treasure hunt. Every day we open a box and then we'll find a personal belonging where you're just like, oh my gosh.
yes,
And
yes.
so there's gifts and treasures that have just filled our archives of our history.
Mhm.
And
Now that you mentioned this, that always finding, I was quite surprised in reading as well in somewhere that Dr. Reverend Dr. Ernest Holmes loved to do barbecue, and that Norman Vincent Peale was his friend, and they used to have barbecue at Ernest Holmes' home, and then learning that, I finally pay more attention that on the back of our textbook of Science of Mind, there's a comment of Vincent Peale about Dr. Ernest Holmes in the Science of Mind book. Um, and I know that people have access to all this information and archives. Do you want to tell us how they can do it, please?
I would love to, because again, our vision is to preserve, protect, and present science, mind, philosophy, and history. And Dr. Holm made his transition in 1960, which means everything we have is 60, 70, 80, 90, or 100
Mm-hmm.
years old. So it's very
Yes.
fragile. It's really time sensitive. And we're digitizing audio recordings,
Wonderful.
and we have transcripts. And a lot of people have the textbook, or this thing called
Mm-hmm.
You, which I really love. But oh my God, we
Yes.
have hundreds of his radio talks and his other talks available
Great.
on the website, which is
Uh-huh.
scienceofmindarchives.com.
Very
And
good.
so every day we make more and more available.
And by any chance, the library is open to the public? Where's the location?
Yeah, it's actually part of home it's in the building of home office. We're a
Mm-hmm.
separate organization from a home
Uh-huh.
office. We're a separate nonprofit, but we have a nice wing of the building where we have our library, our archival material, and it just helps. We're not always in the office, so just give an email or a call, and we're happy to give a
Mm-hmm.
tour. And we give
Great.
really wonderful tours where you just feel the presence of Ernest Holmes. You feel our history. It's an experience where you can really
Yes.
tune in. And we actually do virtual tours too. So from anywhere in the
Oh,
world,
wow.
I really invite any center. It's just how fun. It's really fun. I like to have fun. Okay. So I think that's the
Yeah.
biggest thing. Archives can sound dusty, dusty, old, boring. Oh, no, we're
Smelling.
not. No, no, not us. We're not dusty. We're not old. We're not boring. No, we're bringing history to life in wonderful
There we
ways. And
go.
so I want to come to you. That's why the website's awesome. We can Zoom and virtually come to any center. I can do
Yeah.
talks and presentations, but just show people around.
Wonderful.
I'll take my phone and just walk you through the archives.
Wow.
And so you can experience it. It's really fun.
Wonderful, wonderful. And I know that you are going to participate in the Convention of the Americas. Tell us about it.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm so excited. So my friend Alexandra Musser, we were talking about the convention, and she was so excited, and she's actually disappointed she couldn't make it. But before she said
Oh.
that, she connected me with Peggy Shin, and so I've been talking with
Ah.
Peggy and about it, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, I really need to go. I mean, again, you
Yeah.
folks you're just bringing such a welcoming, joyous occasion, and so we're going to have a table there and we're doing a presentation,
Wonderful.
which will be
Whoa.
interactive and people will learn about the archives and how everyone can use it in
Mhm.
their ministry and their daily
Yeah.
life to really deepen and really understand the principles of science of mind in a deeper way.
Correct.
I mean, we've
Hmm.
actually published this book. It's called The Extension Study Course to the Science of Mind. And so Ernest wrote this in
Great.
1938, 39 to and then
Uh-huh.
we republished it in 53. And so he takes
Wow.
you step by step through the textbook. And if you want to know
Wonderful.
our organization's history, Dr. Marilyn Leo wrote Chronicles of
Uh-huh.
Religious Science volumes 1 and 2. And so we have
Whoa. Look at
lots of
that.
resources. But I
Uh,
really, if this intrigues anyone, come play with me.
me,
Come.
me,
Oh,
me.
yes, yes, yes.
I would like to start a group with these books possible. I will be
Thank
talking to
you.
you.
That would be wonderful. It'd be really fun. And
You
the
can
other
probably
really
autograph my book.
Oh, yes, I'd be happy to. Or get
Thank you.
Dr. Marilyn to do it too. She's
Yes,
87
please.
years old, by
Oh,
the way.
wow.
87. She's awesome. And
Wow.
this week, she's at the International New Thought Alliance conference getting a Lifetime Achievement Award
Ah,
for all her
beautiful.
work. And so
Wow.
she's being blessed and
Wonderful.
honored, which is wonderful.
Yes, yes. And we're honored to have you both with us and being in the same page with the same mission, with the same vision,
Yes. Thank
bringing
you.
peace to this world, a world that works for everybody. Uh, Reverend Kathy, why don't you please help me to invite everybody to come to the convention of the Americas?
Well, to me, the convention is an opportunity to refresh and renew your soul. It's an
Yes.
opportunity because this world's been really challenging with COVID and the weird stuff going on.
Yes, right.
But to come together in spiritual community, in a place from heart, in a place of love and peace, and to feel just welcome. I just really invite you. Everyone should do that for themselves to refresh in their soul. Come to the convention, join us, learn about the resources and the archives. Thanks to Ada and a whole team, we're
Mm-hmm.
translating things into Spanish, and so I have a
Yeah.
number of resources that will just help everyone to really anchor into the teaching of science of mind. So come, have fun with us, be joy.
Yes. And it's going to be in August from the 2nd to the 6th. Um, We have a website as well where they can go and register, and it is conventionoftheamericas.com. We have a Facebook page, which is Se la luz, be the light, and that's where all these interviews that we call happy hour are showing there. We have more information about the convention. The days are getting closer. Are you doing your luggage already? Working on
Yes, you bet.
it?
Yes.
Yes, me too. We have all this week already still to do that. Well, thank you very much for being here today, Reverend Kathy. Thank you, thank you, thank
Oh,
you.
thank you, Woody. I so look forward to giving you a hug in person.
Yes, in person, finally, right? Thank
Yes.
you again
Just
for everything that you do to preserve
oh,
all these teachings of Dr. Ernest Holmes, the founder
oh,
of Science of Mind. Thank
you're
you.
very welcome. Thank you.
Friends,